Why do 90% of seniors my age struggle with basic independence, while I'm still strong, sharp, and living life completely on my own terms at 90 years old? In the next few minutes, you'll discover 6 specific choices I made that most seniors avoid. Choices that research supports, but conventional advice often discourages. And the most important secret isn't about diet or exercise. It's about one critical decision I made at 65 that changed everything, and most seniors make the exact opposite choice. When I turned 65, everyone told me to retire completely, take it easy, and stop pushing myself so hard. I did the opposite. I kept working in a reduced capacity, kept challenging my body with difficult tasks, and refused to live like I was suddenly fragile. 25 years later, I'm stronger and more independent than people decades younger than me, while my peers who followed the conventional take it easy advice are struggling with basic daily tasks. Secret 1. I don't avoid physical challenges. I actively seek them out. The first secret to thriving at 90 is that I don't avoid physical challenges or strain. I deliberately seek them out every single day without exception. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that seniors who continue challenging their bodies with difficult physical tasks maintain significantly better strength, balance, and functional independence than those who avoid anything physically demanding out of fear of injury or strain. Your body responds to the demands you place on it. If you demand nothing, it provides nothing. When you constantly avoid physical challenge because someone told you to be careful or don't strain yourself, you're training your body to become weaker and more fragile. The protective instinct to avoid all physical difficulty actually creates the exact fragility you're trying to prevent. Seniors who thrive understand that appropriate physical challenge is protective, not dangerous, and they seek it out daily. Most seniors stop carrying heavy things, avoid stairs whenever possible, ask for help with physical tasks to be safe, and generally minimize any activity that requires real physical effort. This avoidance feels protective in the moment, but accelerates weakness and dependence with devastating speed. Every time you ask someone else to carry your groceries when you could do it yourself, every time you take the elevator to avoid 3 flights of stairs, every time you hire someone for yard work you're physically capable of doing, you're telling your body it doesn't need to maintain strength. Your body listens and responds by allowing muscles to atrophy and balance to deteriorate. Studies from Johns Hopkins confirm that seniors who avoid physical challenges lose functional capacity 3 times faster than those who regularly challenge themselves. Avoiding physical challenges causes rapid muscle loss that starts a vicious cycle, balance deterioration that dramatically increases fall risk and creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where you become exactly as fragile as you feared you were. This isn't theoretical. I watch it happen constantly among my peers. Someone decides they shouldn't carry their groceries anymore just to be safe, and within 6 months, they've lost so much strength they genuinely can't carry them anymore. Someone stops climbing stairs to preserve their knees, and within a year, their leg strength has declined so much that climbing stairs has become genuinely difficult and dangerous. The avoidance creates the problem it was meant to prevent. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that appropriate physical challenge is one of the strongest predictors of maintained independence in people over 85. Do one physically challenging thing every single day without fail. Carry your own groceries, even if they're heavy. Take the stairs instead of the elevator every time. Move your own furniture when rearranging. Do real yard work with actual digging and lifting, or any other task that requires genuine physical effort. Challenge your body consistently or lose functional capacity. There's no middle ground at our age. My neighbor Beatrice stopped carrying anything heavier than her purse at 75 to avoid strain, and by 82 she couldn't lift a gallon of milk without help and needed assistance with basic household tasks. Start challenging your body today. Weakness comes from disuse far more than from age alone. Secret 2. I never fully retired. I maintained purpose through meaningful work. Did you know that complete retirement dramatically increases rates of depression, accelerates cognitive decline, and is associated with significantly earlier death? Harvard Medical School research shows conclusively that seniors who maintain some form of meaningful work or structured purpose live significantly longer and maintain measurably better cognitive function than those who retire completely and lose their sense of contribution and identity. Work provides structure, purpose, social connection, cognitive challenge, and identity. When you remove all of that simultaneously through complete retirement, you create a psychological and cognitive void that's extremely difficult to fill. The traditional model of complete retirement at 65, followed by decades of leisure, sounds appealing, but the research shows it's actually terrible for longevity and mental health. Seniors who thrive almost always maintain some form of purposeful work throughout their later years. This doesn't mean working 40 or 50 hours per week at a stressful job. It means maintaining meaningful projects, consulting in your field a few hours weekly, volunteering with real responsibilities and accountability, teaching or mentoring where your expertise matters, or running a small business that gives you genuine purpose and structure. The key is that it must be meaningful work that contributes value to others and gives you a reason to get up in the morning with something important to accomplish. Busy work or hobbies don't provide the same benefits. Your brain knows the difference between activities that genuinely matter and activities that are just filling time. Studies from Johns Hopkins show that the sense of contribution and purpose from meaningful work provides powerful protection against cognitive decline that hobbies and leisure activities simply cannot match. Complete retirement without any replacement purpose leads to rapid cognitive decline, as your brain loses the daily challenges that kept it sharp. Depression from loss of identity and feeling useless, loss of social connections that came through work, and significantly shortened lifespan compared to those who maintain purpose. I've watched countless peers retire completely at 65 with big plans for travel and hobbies. Then within 5 years, they're depressed, cognitively declining, and openly admitting they feel purposeless and useless. The initial relief of not working turns into a void that nothing seems to fill. Research from the National Institute on Aging confirms that maintaining productive engagement through work is one of the strongest predictors of successful aging and longevity. Find or create work that genuinely matters to you and provides real value to others. Consulting in your professional field, even just 10 hours weekly, volunteering with organizations where you have real responsibilities and your contribution matters. Teaching or mentoring in areas where you have valuable expertise, or starting a small business around something you're passionate about. The work must be meaningful and challenging, not just busy work to fill time. I've consulted in my professional field for 25 years since officially retiring, working approximately 10 to 15 hours weekly, and this work keeps my mind sharp, provides structure and purpose, and makes me feel valuable and relevant. If you're fully retired with no structured purpose, find meaningful work this week. Your cognitive health and longevity literally depend on maintaining purpose and contribution. Secret 3. I eat when I'm hungry and don't restrict calories. The third secret is that I eat when I'm genuinely hungry. Eat until I'm satisfied and comfortable, and completely ignore all the calorie restriction advice that's constantly pushed on seniors. Research from Johns Hopkins shows that seniors who maintain adequate caloric intake and eat according to natural hunger signals maintain significantly better muscle mass, cognitive function, energy levels, and overall health than those who chronically undereat in pursuit of weight loss or following restrictive diet advice. At 90, your body needs adequate nutrition to maintain muscle, support brain function, fuel your immune system, and repair daily damage. Chronic calorie restriction at our age is genuinely dangerous and accelerates the exact decline people are trying to prevent. The weight loss mentality that might have been appropriate at 50 becomes actively harmful at 80 or 90, when maintaining muscle and function is far more important than achieving some arbitrary weight number. Many seniors eat tiny portions and aggressively restrict calories thinking they're being healthy. But inadequate nutrition at our age accelerates dangerous muscle loss, creates brain fog and cognitive problems, causes persistent weakness and fatigue, and weakens the immune system, making you vulnerable to illness. I constantly see peers eating like birds, proud of their small portions and low calorie counts, while they're visibly wasting away and becoming frailer by the month. They think they're preventing health problems when they're actually creating them. Your body at 90 is fighting to maintain muscle mass and function against natural age-related decline. The last thing it needs is inadequate fuel. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that seniors who eat inadequate calories have dramatically higher rates of frailty, hospitalization, and mortality than those who eat according to hunger. Chronic calorie restriction in seniors leads directly to dangerous sarcopenia, which is the loss of muscle mass and strength, weakened immunity that makes every infection more dangerous, cognitive decline, and mental fog from inadequate brain fuel, and increased frailty and fall risk from general weakness and poor nutrition. This isn't about getting fat. This is about providing your body the fuel it needs to maintain function and fight age-related decline. The research is absolutely clear that adequate nutrition is protective at our age, while restriction is harmful. Yet diet culture has so many seniors convinced they should be eating less when they actually need to be eating adequately. Eat 3 substantial meals daily with adequate protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats at every meal. Stop counting calories and start listening to genuine hunger signals. Your body knows what it needs far better than any calorie calculator. Never skip meals or restrict portions out of weight concerns at our age. My friend Gerald restricted himself to 1,200 calories daily at 85, trying to stay healthy and slim. And within just 1 year, he'd lost dangerous amounts of muscle and strength and couldn't walk unassisted anymore. If you're chronically restricting food intake, start eating adequately today. Your body needs proper fuel to function and maintain independence. Secret 4. I challenge my brain with difficult tasks, not just simple puzzles. I keep my mind sharp by tackling genuinely difficult mental challenges, not just doing the easy crossword puzzles and simple brain games that everyone recommends for seniors. Neuroscientists at Harvard show that genuine cognitive challenge from learning new complex skills provides far more brain protection and cognitive benefit than simple puzzles or games specifically designed for seniors, which quickly become routine and provide minimal actual cognitive benefit. Your brain needs to be genuinely challenged and slightly uncomfortable to grow and maintain capacity. Activities you can do on autopilot while watching television don't provide that challenge. Real cognitive challenge means learning things that are difficult, confusing, and frustrating at first, which forces your brain to create new neural connections and strengthen existing ones. This is how you maintain cognitive function, not through easy puzzles, but through genuine learning that pushes your limits. Real cognitive challenge means learning new languages, which is one of the most powerful brain exercises. Mastering new technology that genuinely confuses you at first, taking college-level courses in subjects you don't know, or learning complex skills that require real mental effort and multiple attempts to master. It doesn't mean doing the same crossword puzzle difficulty level you've been doing for 20 years. Your brain adapts to repeated activities and stops being challenged by them. You need novelty and genuine difficulty to maintain cognitive sharpness. Studies from Johns Hopkins confirm that seniors who regularly engage in genuinely difficult learning maintain cognitive function far better than those who stick to comfortable, familiar mental activities. Easy, repetitive mental activities like simple puzzles provide false confidence and a sense of accomplishment, while your brain continues declining because it's not being genuinely challenged. to grow and adapt. You feel like you're protecting your brain, but you're actually just entertaining it without providing real cognitive benefit. It's like doing the same easy physical exercise every day and wondering why you're not getting stronger. Your brain needs progressive challenge, just like your muscles do. Many seniors proudly tell me they do crossword puzzles daily, then in the next breath complain about memory problems and difficulty learning new things. The puzzles aren't providing the protection they believe they are because they're not genuinely difficult anymore. Learn something genuinely difficult and uncomfortable starting this month. Take a challenging course in a subject you don't know. Learn a new language through structured lessons. Master new software or technology that currently confuses you. Or study a complex subject that requires real mental effort and concentration. Don't choose easy activities you already know how to do. At 88 years old, I learned video editing software that my grandchildren use, which was genuinely difficult and frustrating, but kept my brain sharper than years of crossword puzzles ever did. Choose one difficult skill to learn this week. Your cognitive health requires real challenge and discomfort, not comfortable busy work. Secret 5. I get sun exposure daily without fear. The 5th secret is that I deliberately get sun exposure on my skin every single day, completely ignoring the fear-based advice to avoid the sun entirely or never go outside without heavy sunscreen. Research from Boston University shows that seniors who get regular moderate sun exposure have significantly higher vitamin D levels, better bone health and density, stronger immune function, and lower rates of depression than those who avoid the sun out of excessive skin cancer fear. The pendulum has swung so far towards sun avoidance that we've created a vitamin D deficiency epidemic among seniors that's causing far more health damage than reasonable sun exposure ever would. Your body needs sunlight to produce vitamin D, regulate circadian rhythms, improve mood, and support immune function. These are not optional benefits. They're essential for health at any age. The skin cancer panic has created vitamin D deficiency in millions of seniors who hide from the sun completely, wear sunscreen every time they step outside, and spend all their time indoors. This deficiency leads to weak bones that fracture easily, poor muscle function and weakness, compromised immune systems that can't fight infections, and significantly increased depression risk. Studies from Harvard Medical School confirm that the health risks from vitamin D deficiency far outweigh the skin cancer risks from moderate sun exposure for most people. Yes, excessive sun exposure increases skin cancer risk, but the solution is moderation, not complete avoidance. Reasonable daily sun exposure is protective and necessary for optimal health. Complete sun avoidance leads to severe vitamin D deficiency, which affects nearly every body system, weak bones, and increased fracture risk, which is devastating at our age. Poor immunity that makes you sick more often and more severely, depression and mood problems from lack of natural light exposure, and significantly increased fall risk from muscle weakness caused by vitamin D deficiency. The fear of skin cancer has made many seniors willing to accept all these guaranteed negative health outcomes to avoid one possible negative outcome. This risk calculation doesn't make sense when you look at the actual research. Moderate sun exposure is far more protective than harmful for the vast majority of seniors. Get 15 to 20 minutes of direct sunlight on your arms, legs and face daily without sunscreen during that brief exposure. This moderate amount provides the vitamin D your body needs while posing minimal skin cancer risk. Do this before applying sunscreen for extended outdoor time. My doctor Francine was genuinely shocked by my excellent vitamin D levels and bone density at 90 years old, which I directly attribute to daily sun exposure that most seniors my age avoid out of fear. Step outside in the sun for 15 minutes today without sunscreen. Your bones, muscles, immune system, and mental health need it desperately. Secret 6. I ignore age-based limitations that have no science behind them. The final secret to thriving while my peers struggle is that I completely ignore age-based limitations and restrictions that have no actual scientific basis supporting them. And there are many more of these than you'd think. Gerontologists at Johns Hopkins confirm that many commonly accepted age-based restrictions are based entirely on outdated stereotypes rather than science, and seniors who ignore these baseless limitations maintain better function and independence than those who accept unnecessary restrictions on their capabilities. Society has extremely low expectations for what 90-year-olds can do, and most seniors internalize these expectations and limit themselves accordingly, even when they're perfectly capable of more. Every time someone tells you that you shouldn't do something because of your age alone, ask for the scientific evidence. Very often, there isn't any. Arbitrary rules like, don't lift anything over 10 pounds after 80, or don't drive after dark at 85, or don't travel alone at 90, or don't start new activities after 75, often have absolutely no scientific basis and limit you unnecessarily based solely on stereotypes. These restrictions are usually based on someone's discomfort or liability concerns, not on your actual capabilities or scientific evidence about safety. When doctors, family members, or well-meaning friends give you age-based restrictions, ask them to explain the specific scientific evidence supporting that restriction for someone with your actual health status and capabilities. Most of the time, they can't provide any evidence because none exists. It's just age discrimination disguised as concern for your safety. Accepting baseless age limitations creates learned helplessness, where you stop trying things you're capable of doing, accelerates actual decline because you're not challenging yourself appropriately, costs you independence and experiences you're perfectly capable of having, and makes you feel old, limited and helpless when you're actually still quite capable. This psychological damage is just as harmful as any physical limitation. When you accept that you can't do things simply because of your age, you start behaving like an incapable person, which becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that seniors who reject age-based stereotypes and limitations maintain function significantly longer than those who internalize them. Question every single age-based restriction you encounter in your life. Ask for the specific scientific evidence supporting it. If there's none, ignore it completely and do what you're actually capable of doing based on your real abilities, not your birth year. Push back against well-meaning people who try to limit you based on age stereotypes rather than your actual capabilities. At 89 years old, I took a solo trip across the country to visit family, which my doctor actively discouraged for vague safety reasons he couldn't actually explain or support with any evidence when I pressed him. Identify one age-based limitation you've accepted without questioning and challenge it this week. Reclaim capabilities you gave up based on nothing but stereotypes. These 6 secrets aren't magic, genetics, or luck. They're conscious choices to challenge my body daily, maintain meaningful work and purpose, eat adequately without restriction, genuinely challenge my brain with difficult learning, get necessary sun exposure, and ignore baseless age limitations. Each choice is solidly supported by research, even when it directly contradicts conventional senior advice. The 90% of seniors who struggle often do so because they follow advice that sounds safe, but actually accelerates decline. You can thrive at any age by making evidence-based choices and refusing to accept unnecessary limitations based on stereotypes rather than your actual capabilities. If these secrets challenged your assumptions about aging or gave you permission to make different choices, hit that like button right now. Comment below and tell me which secret resonates most with you or which baseless age limitation you're ready to challenge. I genuinely want to hear your story and your experience. Share this with any senior who's been told to act their age or accept limitations they don't believe they actually need. Subscribe for more research-backed advice that challenges conventional senior limitations and helps you genuinely thrive instead of just survive.